Good morning, everybody. It's a positive Tuesday today, December 20th, 2022. Hey, only 5 days away until we celebrate the most important birth in history. It's
Cheers.
my birthday, that's right. We have a lot to get to today, including, I think you had a press release last week. I just want to talk about that. It was about locating a 16-year-old in Barron County. We want to get a recap kind of in Barron County on kind of what went well, what didn't, last week's storm, power outages. Hopefully Dirk will be on so we get a weather update. There's another storm coming, schools closing again, but I can't remember which schools, like when like Christmas break starts for some of these people, so I'm not really sure. But anyway, a lot to get to today. We have to finish at 8:59. Anyway, but first, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and of course you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. So give them a call today. The number's on the screen, 715-520-2271. Positive Tuesday is also brought to you in part by the Wisconsin Lakes team. It's still a great time to buy or sell a home, and when you do, we recommend our friends from the Lakes team. Anyone can say that they're an agent, but not everyone treats their clients as they would like to be treated, and that's what Aaron and Katie do. Find out more by visiting them at lakesteamwy.com. Also supporting the show are friends at Industrial Safety. We all know that Industrial Safety sells and services practically everything that goes into a fire station and on a firefighter. But they also provide kitchen suppression system maintenance, inspections, and installs. For more information about this service and to see a list of all of their available services, visit their website at industrialsafetystore.com. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
A little chilly.
Yeah.
A little chilly. Look, I'm letting my hair grow out. See? It's getting cold. Little things make a big difference.
You're going to be really cold on Thursday then.
Uh-oh. Yeah, not looking forward to that then.
It's getting colder quicker, and hopefully Dirk will jump on right away and give us a weather report because it doesn't look good for Thursday.
Uh-oh. Cold-wise or snow-wise?
Wind with snow. They're talking blizzard-like conditions. You know, who knows? I mean, we're 3 days away or 2 days away now. So, but Thursday is not looking like a real positive day for law enforcement and for people traveling. So hopefully you can get your travel there. Dirk's on already. So
All right.
Hit us up, Dirk. What do you think Thursday's going to look like? And that's all people care about right now is the weekend, because the 24th, Christmas Eve, people travel. People will travel Friday night. So I'm very concerned about the 23rd, 24th, and 25th for travel. Hopefully it all works out. I'd love for our plow guys and our utility guys to stay home that weekend, but it's not looking real positive, and we'll get
I thought you meant like, I feel like they should probably be out that week. I see what you're saying now. Okay.
I don't want them to be out, but yeah, I think they will be out. So
yeah. Well, we'll get to the weather in a little bit, the upcoming weather, the impending weather. Also asked everyone, what are your plans for Christmas this weekend, holiday stuff? Let us know what you're doing. I don't know, feel good stuff. We already have, it's going to be bad blizzard. Details later. All right. He'll give us that. Again, we have to finish the show at 8:59. Fitzy has a meeting at 9 o'clock. So first, of course, Fitzy, positive or things happening in the last week? You know, Chris Fitzgerald, not Sheriff Fitzgerald.
Chris Fitzgerald went to hockey this weekend in Blaine. Stayed at my brother's.
Oh, that's right. Did you say hi to my sister? No. All right, fine. I forgot to tell her that you were coming to town.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. No, we watched hockey all weekend, and now we're off of hockey for 2 weeks and travel, and Emma comes home today, so our house will be back with people at it, and so my wife's excited, and the fridge is full, and we're ready to go for Christmas. So yeah. What'd you do all weekend?
Lots and lots of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Well, because Kenneth and Riley were sick, they've got the flu bug, so they couldn't go to school. And then, of course, it was closing. So in between posts, so they released the shipment map. And I know nobody cares about this, but I'm totally going to say it anyway. So the shipment map, which is just great. It's like this small little map, and it's nuts playing these matches in multiplayer games. So with Kenneth home, and they released the shipment map, and it was all double XP. So we were leveling up guns for like 5 days. It was awesome. Okay, I hate guns in real life, but on video games, get out. That's so much fun.
Hey, as long as you're having fun, and you did it for Kenneth, so that he felt
It's
better.
yeah, it's a father-son bonding time.
It's
But
a
we use the same
total.
account, so every time he plays, he levels my guns and I level. So yeah, it's totally cool. All right, so we want to get to the weather stuff, but I do want to ask. Uh, Usually we try to get to any press releases or articles we've done. I know I'm going to. You just sent a booking photo that I requested just this morning, so I should have a story about that up tomorrow, so we can talk about that next week. Don't know who that is. But you had something that was up. Our headline was Barron County Sheriff's Office asking for public's help locating 16-year-old. Can you tell us anything about that? And I think I talked to you a few days ago and just asked, is there like an update to this? I don't know what you can say, but can you talk us?
We updated. You should have got that yesterday.
I didn't.
You
Or if I did, I
You
missed it.
You must have missed it because we did locate him yesterday,
Oh,
and
good.
so he is located. But he played some games with us, and he was a runaway. Really wasn't. He was missing, but he was a runaway. It was an intentional runaway. We knew he was from the area. At first, we didn't. We had taken off on a snowmobile, and so there was some concern about did he crash the snowmobile? Did he go through the lake? Did he do a lot of things like that? So we did have some searching, looking for him. We had some information he might be at certain places. We believe some people might have been hiding him out. If we were able to prove that, we were going to charge them or
I was
carve
just
them.
going to ask,
Yeah.
is
Oh
that
yeah.
I don't know, if like a missing person or some, whatever, a runaway,
Right.
and is staying here like at our house, and I'm not letting anyone know that they're here for whatever reason. Let's assume it's like good reasons, but because I don't think I'd do something for not good reasons, but I could actually be charged with something.
Well, if you knew, like if we knock on your door and say, "Hey, is Jimmy there?" and
Sure.
he is, but you say no, and I say, "Just so you know, he's a runaway," and if we prove he was here, now that we've given you that information, you could be charged with
Oh,
something. I mean, if you don't know it, you can't. Obviously, if
well,
you don't
right.
know it, you're committing a crime. But yeah, if we tell you, so we believe some people might have been hiding out. They may have had good intentions because he gave them some sob story. Doesn't matter. He's getting the help he needs. It's all good. He's back and getting services that he needs. So that case is all good. We appreciate all the help,
Good.
all the concern. That's why I did that. I mean, at first he was missing. We thought he might turn up, and some runaways do, and we don't normally just post every runaway that goes. But this one, we had some concern about it. And then he obviously was putting some comments on our Facebook page saying, "I'm fine, leave me alone." And that's not how it works. You're only 16. You don't get to
Well,
play
wait a
that.
minute. So this individual himself that you were looking for was commenting on the sheriff's office Facebook page saying, "I'm fine."
Yep.
Do you? Well, first, how do you know that? Well, I'm
Correct.
assuming.
Okay.
I mean, the odds are pretty good that it is, but you never know, I guess.
Right.
So that isn't enough for you to say, no, okay, sounds good. We'll update it and let the media know that it's all good.
Not for a 16-year-old. I mean, no, it's not okay. At 16, you don't get to make those rules. Sorry. So that's not how it works. You're still listed as a runaway. You're still, you'll still be taken into, it's not custody. You'll stay in protective custody is really what it is until DHS or we get you a family member. So a runaway is taken into custody. It's protective custody. It's not jail. We don't take you into the jail and hold you there until somebody comes to get you. We take you to an interview room and keep an eye on you or whatever it is, or
Sure.
the lunchroom or wherever. So, but that's how that works, and that case is all wrapped up, and we know where he is. His worker knows where he is. He's getting the services he needs. So,
Well, that's important.
that's all that matters for us. So.
Yeah. And did you see there was we put up a post, I think, yesterday. So Washburn County's, the sheriff's office sent out a sex offender bulletin, and we've talked about that just recently because we've had a couple of them in Barron County. But our headline was convicted sex offender to be released in Washburn County for third time in 5 years. Now, I don't do like sensational headlines, and even that one, I'm like, well, that makes it seem, I don't know, but I'm like, that's just kind of the fact because when his name was Gary Walton, and it's Walton. That name sounds familiar. So I went to our website, and then there's a search bar to look, through articles. And sure enough, there was one in 2017 and 2019. So I went and I looked, and there didn't seem to be like new charges filed. But according to the Department of Corrections, it shows that he was then like in 2018, he was sent back there, etc. So it looks like, and again, we don't have that much information that we can find, but it just seems like maybe he violated his what is that? Your
Parole, probation.
probation, all the rules they put on, or something like that. I'm assuming that. I don't know, unless he just like called and said, "Hey, I want to come back" or something.
No.
Have you ever seen something like that? I asked Jerusha about it. I said, "What is that typically like?" She's like, "Well, he violated something. Likely has to go back and sometimes just sit in jail for a while or whatever your punishment would be." Have you seen that before? Because third time in 5 years sounds like either he keeps violating or it just isn't really working out. But now what do we do? Is it just this cycle?
Right. Now you can revoke yourself and serve time. You can get sentenced by an administrative law judge and get sentenced on your probation rules and violations. So I'm not 100% sure why 3 times in 5 years
5 years.
is kind of it's different. That's a different one. I'm glad someone else put a sex offender release out there. So
Yeah, no.
people
So you
right. Not just in Barron County.
Take the heat off you for a little bit.
We didn't get our cut of this one. No.
Oh boy.
Somebody else's tax money's going to that guy. That's not fair. No.
Yeah, that's why I thought, even though it's Washburn one, I thought I'd bring that up just to try to, help you out. You're not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I owe Sheriff Stewart lunch.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks for putting that press release on. I took all the heat off Barron County.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah.
No, so it is kind of an odd one. I kind of glanced at that article, but we don't know the details of it. But you can get revoked. You can get sentenced for violations of probation. It's kind of odd that happens. So.
Yeah, and over 7 years of doing this, and I think over 15,000 posts, that's the first time I've seen that. And I just happened to see, because it was a regular bulletin, but when I'm like, Bolton, I know that name, and then I found that, wait, we did a press release that was when Dad was still sheriff, in 2017 about being released, and then in 2019 being released, and now it's 2022 being released. It's, sheesh. Interesting.
Yeah, it was. That one's a little different. But
yeah. So
the details are tough.
Since I know that we have to finish this at 8:59, you have a meeting at 9:00. Last week's storm. I just want to get to kind of some recap stuff. Obviously, there was the weather factor, but then there was also the power outage factor. Rusk County, I think the sheriff Jeff had put out a press release, and we posted that about that the county, like pretty much the whole county, was out without power. In Washburn, like my mom and dad, they were out for 3.5 hours. Renee, is she on here this morning? I think it was Renee. Renee, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she was out for like 4 days without power here in Washburn County. So there's two aspects here. So starting just with the roads and crashes, it seemed like not a lot of people were out, thankfully, with schools closed, but a lot of crashes during that storm last week.
No, not a lot of crashes. So that was great. We did good from the crash aspect. Not a lot at all. Most of ours came, like Schaefer. Merry Christmas, Mike. Most of our crashes came from trees down, but most of our calls were power outages. So, but a lot of people were out 3 to 5 days. Yeah,
there's Renee's 4 days and 7.5 hours. That's ridiculous. Now, my parents were out for over 3 days, but Dad has a generator, so I mean it cost them a fortune with gas, but still they had power. I don't think they had like hot water. But was the county closed down? Because in Washburn County, the county was closed for I think 2 days. Like the government center, they didn't even have power.
We're tougher down here. It's kind of like our library is better than yours.
Good Lord! I'm telling Riley when she gets home.
She's at school, you'll forget.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No, we weren't closed. With the schools closed, when schools closed, it really helps the traffic. We talked about that last week. But it was the power outages that were causing it, and they were very random. So it was like this house and that house and this next house. And
it was a little spotty.
Yeah, and a lot of power companies came from outside the area to help. Excuse me, and they did an unbelievable job. And the power companies, Barron Electric, XL Energy sends trucks to help different places when there's storms in Florida and wherever. And so a lot of those places pay back. I mean, it's just like we help Rusk County or Washburn County, and when we need help, they come down and help us. that's what the same thing happens in power companies. So hats off to all of our power companies and all the extra help. And I love that people like the Boys and Girls Club put a big poster, all the kids signed it, said thank you utility workers. I mean, and they took it down there and hung it up or wherever they took it and hung it. I just think that's cool. And it really, they eat in our restaurants, they stay in our hotels. I mean, it's good money. I think we're going to declare a county disaster so we can get some of that funding back from the state.
Get that money.
Yep. It's about money too. I mean, that's important.
Yep.
That stops local rates from going up and things like that. So hopefully we'll be able to recoup some of those costs.
What do you mean local rates from going up?
Well, if Barron Electric has a big loss, I mean, they got to pay for that somehow, I assume. I'm just saying, it's no different than if, insurance doesn't cover some of this, or I don't know if it does. I have no idea. It's a good question for the power company. But, if you take a big loss, a company takes a big loss, they can't come up with that.
So I got an email, speaking of power outages.
Okay.
I got an email from someone last night, so I noticed it this morning. So we have like this contact form thing on our website. So if you want to contact us, you just put in your name, your email address, and then send us whatever. And usually they're, not super uplifting. What'd you say? That's usually, whatever.
Yeah, usually something.
Yeah. So here's the one that got sent to us. Apparently it's from President Biden.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. And the message was, please send a message to Nevers, obviously referring to Governor Evers, about getting power companies up here for the incoming storm. We will need it badly. It's very cold, and with all this snow, we're screwed. Many true patriots' lives are at stake. Now, I think that means risk, but I don't know what that means. Maybe it's slang for something. Tell that expletive to do something. I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Joe Biden.
No kidding. Thanks, President. So, Evers, President says, get some more power companies up here to get ready for the storm coming up this week.
Going direct to him. I'm sure he's got the number.
I'll forward it to Evers, to his personal email address.
Let me just talk to people.
Yeah. Before we get into what's coming up this week, is there any relation? So I posted the jail bookings for the 6 counties this morning, and I noticed in Washburn there was only 2, and these vary, right? You can go from 3 or 4 in Washburn to 18, and in Barron it's usually like around in the 20s somewhere, sometimes in the 30s, but you only had 12.
Yeah.
And for Barron, it's actually starting from this morning through the last 7 days, which would have been through that storm. Any connection there?
No, I don't think there's a connection.
Between the bad weather and et cetera.
To some degree there is. I mean, people weren't out and about because it was cold and snowy, so there isn't less. But I did notice that we see a trend right now with our less jail bookings. I think is a little bit because of the holidays too. I think their judges, don't start after the first year. I think you'll see a slight increase because judges say, well, you can start your sentence on January 3rd instead of December 15th, so that you're in the jail for the holidays.
Obviously, that would be for nonviolent.
Correct.
Right. You get murder. January is cool. That's fine.
Come back in January. Yeah, I know. That's very, so what would be I got 20 days in jail. You can start at January 3rd rather than December 15th.
Oh, in a weird way, part of me wants to say I don't like that, but actually I really like that.
Well, and to some degree it doesn't matter because they could have just extended their case. They just took the deal to, and asked for that, and that happens on a daily basis. So it's not particular to Christmas. I mean, there's just less. We've got to keep these are very nonviolent crimes.
Right.
So, yeah. So
a lot of discretion goes into that.
Our jail population is down, and so it's a great thing.
It's nice to see that you cops down there in Barron County aren't as sexist as usual. Looks like you're working on that because I noticed of the 12, half of them were female.
Yeah, sure.
There was 6 males and 6 females. I'm like, well, all right, you guys must be working on that. You're just targeting men all the time, I tell you.
Yeah, that's right. The men are complaining, yes. We're getting picked on way too much.
Yeah, start arresting some of these women.
That's right.
All right. So this coming up week for the snowstorm, Dirk will give us an update here in a little bit. Is this another one of those that's going to be over several days? I know there was snow this morning, like quite a bit, like 3 or 4 inches up here, but it was super light.
Yeah,
So
finally.
what? It's Tuesday today. So what are you hearing? And how about this? Looking at last week, and there was power that was out in the snowstorm, but maybe just from the power standpoint, what are you hearing? A lot of these counties have emergency management teams and et cetera. I think some people kind of look at some of the counties and they're like, wow, we didn't do a super great job with some of the things, but we can learn from it. Are you hearing that, okay, there's plans in place in case there's more power issues that go with the storm?
Yeah, and we didn't open up a shelter like Washburn County did. We only had one person request assistance. We got them the assistance they needed, whether it was a heater, motel rooms, things like that. If we get to a certain number of people asking for help, and it's a very small number, we can open up a shelter. We have plans in place with the Red Cross. The Red Cross has been briefed for this week. There's some concern now. It all depends on the wind. What we get for wind. I'm not really concerned about the snow. We're only supposed to get probably 3 to 6 inches. I don't know, somewhere in that
What?
range. Yeah.
I thought like the probability for six. Well, we'll wait for Dirk's forecast
Right.
there. Renee doesn't seem to be super happy with how Renette did, but I didn't hear much about him. So, all right, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Renee. And by the way, Renee, that's a great point. Chili, bread, coffee, hot chocolate, and water places should be set up. It costs a lot of money without power, and donation needs in many areas would be great. I would have donated to raise money for the next snowstorms. Yeah, that's another thing. Like anything you can do for someone,
Right.
jeepers. Invite them
We
over to your house for crying out loud.
and we put that in our post. Neighbors helping neighbors. What we do good, and so there really wasn't a need in Barron County
Sure,
for
sure.
that. And so I get it. We would have done it if we would have needed to. So, but yeah, but I'm concerned about the wind, and here it comes.
All
We're gonna
right, so
get
this is part one. Travel today if you are planning on traveling this week. Heavy snow will start Wednesday night. Snow will last through Thursday, some light blasting. Snow accumulations. C, Dirk at 5 to 10. Still
well.
hard to
I said
pinpoint the
six,
exact
so
amounts. And then part two, blizzard conditions are looking likely for Thursday. Worst conditions Thursday night and Friday. Winds 25, gust 40 miles an hour, cause problems on the road, dangerous winter storm. UFTA, more tree damage and power outages are expected.
and that's where I was going with that. The wind is if we get the wind like is projected, and the trees have that frozen snow on them, it could cause more power outages. Now, there's a chance that it doesn't, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you never
Very
know.
optimistic right now. I don't want people to have power outages the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I don't want there to be problems. We will help wherever we need to. We have plans in place. We'll be here working. We can, this building we can put people here. We can do a lot of things if we have to. Our schools always help out. We got plenty of plans in place to open up operations. There'll be plenty of people that want to help if need be. But I'm very concerned about travel. I know people want to get to their families. You might have to leave Thursday and hunker down and stay till Saturday. I don't know the answer. I happen to be lucky enough I'm not traveling. I'll be here. We'll be available if need be. So
And you'll be out patrolling. I called you, I think it must have been Thursday morning. It was Thursday because I was supposed to do a live show, but we canceled it. And actually, it's going to be this Thursday, so we postponed it because our power kept kind of going in and out. So I couldn't do a live show during, power going in and out. So I had some time blocked off. Like, hey, I'll call you, see what you're doing. And you were out traveling, going around and just being available to assist or help in crashes or anything else that was going on. Instead of like sitting at the office, that's a large part of your job is meetings and kind of command central, as it were. But on days like that, I know that you always like to kind of go out and anything I can do to help and assist. And 911 calls. We should probably talk about that because I think that morning when I was talking to you, said, "Holy buckets!" You told me how many calls that you had received just that night or in that morning about power outages,
7 a.m. or 6:30, you called me, and
something like that.
we were at 88 calls already for the day. And we don't get 88 in a whole 24-hour period,
Right.
6 hours. So
And they were largely calling just to say,
my power's out.
"Oh,
And so, yeah, I don't want to say we don't care, but we don't care when you call in 911 to let me know your power's out. I mean, that's not our role. We don't know how long the power is going to be out. Now, if you have a sparking wire, a line down that might be live, we handle all that. Our fire department's did an unbelievable job helping us with that. They will help us again on the next storm. So if there's wire down, we need to know that because we need to see if they're live. We'll cone them. We'll let Barron Electric know. They'll have a truck or XL. They have that will come directly. They probably won't hook it back up, but they'll disconnect it so it's not live, and then they'll go to the next one. So, but.
And I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. I probably should have asked you before. Oh, we went live. I heard a rumor that one of those mornings, maybe it was that morning, that you were seen. You made your presence at the dispatch. You were fielding calls. Is that true?
I was fielding calls.
Are you qualified to do that? What's up?
What's up? Yeah, I answered a little different.
Your power's out? All right. Well, I'll give you a quarter. Call someone who cares. Bye. Problem solved. Next.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, I did dispatch. I came in. Our power was out in the city of Rice Lake for just a very, very short time, so I was blessed and lucky. But when it was dark in my house and I woke up, I'm like, that's not good. And when I went to my screen, boom.
Sure, a lot of calls.
And so I went in and helped right away in dispatch. It's a lot easier to command from there and direct people from there. And our guys and gals did a wonderful job. And yeah. So,
Brian Cole, Merry Christmas, Brian.
By
the way, we're going to be starting something next year. Brian Cole, I keep getting asked that. I was at a Conrad the other day, and someone who had said, so are you going to go back and do more, things with Brian Cole? I'm like, we're working on it.
Yeah.
It's largely because I've been kicking the can. I probably should get to that.
That's right. So
hold on, real quick, because I know you have to go in like 4 minutes here. Schools. So obviously we do the school closings. We start updating those right away in the mornings. But if it's really bad, like Wednesday or Thursday, and again, we'll start doing these. I don't know which day it's going to be.
Right.
But aren't like kids, I should probably know this because I have kids at Spooner School. Like what day are they all out? Is everybody, most people are going to be off like what, Thursday and Friday already or no? Or do you know, does everybody have a full week is what I'm asking. Do you know that in Barron County?
I think most kids have Friday off.
Friday.
I don't know.
Okay.
So
because it'd be nice if they were already closed or like off for their thing when the snow comes.
They might get an extra day. The schools always reach out to us and do a good job of saying, it's going to get bad. And if they do start school on Thursday and they do go home early, I know a lot of schools can't do that with bus drivers, but they will make it work. They will get our kids home safe. They always do, or they won't even have school, or they'll just call it an extra Christmas day. I don't know what, but sooner or later we're gonna have to make up some of these days. I know they've missed a couple days already.
It's important.
On a long, going to school is important, but the schools work with us very closely. All of our superintendents, they care about kids, but they also can't, just because it snows and ints, they can't do it.
All right, Thursday and Friday. I thought I asked Jerusha last night, and I thought she said in Spooner it's Thursday and Friday too, but maybe she did. I can't remember.
Some schools have Thursday and Friday off. Some people just have Friday off. So
interesting.
Every school. So
yeah. Well, Dirk, thanks so much for your for the weather and the update and thank you. Merry Christmas to everyone.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to.
Happy birthday, Ben.
On Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rice Lake is just Friday. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. So what?
I do know my stuff, actually.
Well, just you know what it's like when your kids are all out of school, like you don't even pay attention anymore. I just figured you may know just because you're the sheriff.
Yeah, I'm supposed to know everything.
You're supposed to. All right, what do you have coming up this week?
Christmas, just hanging in, making sure everybody's safe, and that's our goal. No big plans for Christmas, just hanging local, and we'll make sure everybody gets to where they go. I want to thank everybody. Have a blessed holiday and drive safe and be safe out there.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Fitzy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what's your meeting that you're going to in 2.5 minutes? That's so important that we had to end our show early. What is it?
County administrator, so he kind of trumps you.
You tell Jeff pound sand.
Okay.
You tell him I said so. You tell him from the Positive Tuesday show. Everyone says pound sand. All right.
How old you going to be, Ben?
46. I'm now in my early mid-40s. I think that's what we're going to call it. For DrydenWire.com, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. So give Brian a call today. The number's right there on the screen. Fitzy and I are wishing all of you a safe week and hope you all have a wonderful and a Merry Christmas. So until next week, thank you for watching. And as always, have a blessed day. Oh, look at all that birthday things. You know what? I should have given out my birthday list. Nah, it's